Morning, folks. My name is Mitch, and I'm in Low Gap, North Carolina. I thought I'd show you my latest project, Massey Ferguson 1100. My dad bought it for me for my birthday a couple years back from some neighbors. That it was sitting over the end of the woods next to their house. It's been sitting for about 10 years. And I just have been so busy, I hadn't had time to mess with it or do anything. And I had a friend pop up spring last year say, I'd like to have a project for the summer. Do you care if I work on that tractor? So he got it, took it over to his house, put a little time into it, a couple of batteries, got it running, got the bucket working, replaced a couple of hydraulic hoses, changed all the fluids. So it's running and functional now. Now it's time for me to see, number one, do I want to use it first, or do I want to go ahead and start restoring it? And maybe a little bit of both. It's been rode hard and put away wet. It's got a little bit of Frankenstein going on. One is the park. The prawls don't appear to be engaging into the lock gear. But I've noticed that there's a couple of bent rods, I assume bent, at an angle in the linkage up here between the gear shift and where the Z-bar is, where it transfers and goes back to the transmission. That would keep it from pushing the prawl all the way in, I think. But at the same time, if you straighten those bars out, it might not release the prawl all the way. So I'm, might be able to adjust it all out. That's one of the first things I'll be tackling. But it's got a Perkins 5.8, 100 horsepower. One of the things I'll be looking at possibly is, can I tap this bucket hydraulic system off of that massive pump that this baby's got that I'm not using for anything else? Because right now the bucket system's got its own reservoir and it's running off of a PTO driven pump. But I'll grab the camera and we'll look around and we'll see where it goes, and I'll show some of the individual things I need to work on, and then maybe some of you little knowledge behind it, because this is my first Massey Ferguson. It's my first time restoring a full tractor. I've got another old long that I'm going to work on, but it's been parked over here too. So I've kind of like bought two tractors to work on, and now it's in my retirement. I just have to find the time to work on them. But I'll grab the camera and we'll walk around and I'll show you a couple of things on it. The bucket has been a little bit Frankenstein. I think they've either bent or broke or cut or extended or something. I'm not sure what's been done at the point. It's working fine and it's strong, but it's kind of haphazardly thrown together a little bit, I guess you could say. The clutch and everything, the clutch pedal wouldn't move initially, and he thought this clutch was screwed up, but he found out that it was just the pin here, the pivot pin for the pedal itself. The wiring is not the prettiest in the world. I mean, somebody's tied together, that's your start wire. I think they bypassed the neutral switch. I've got to find the neutral switch and see where that's at. And then like right here's this is a hot wire, and you can tell it's been down there and it's touched the housing of the Bendix right there a little bit because it's shorted at one point in time. That's got to be replaced. Of course, I've got wire on order to replace a whole lot of this stuff. I've got lights on order, and we'll see how it works out. Anyhow, this is the pump for the bucket. Right now it's being driven off the PTO. Some older pipes that come up, and there's an auxiliary tank right here, and then the controls are up there. Some of the hoses he's replaced, some of the hoses still need to be replaced. And I'm wondering, with the massive pump that this tractor's got on it, and the fact that all I'm using it for right now is power steering, I bet you somewhere I could tie into that pump or into the high pressure lines and run that bucket off of the pump that's on the motor and do away with the PTO pump. Don't know for sure. The auxiliary circuit here, it's got a little bit of a leak, but it's got old hoses on it. The auxiliary valve in here is there, and the unloader's here, but somebody's removed all the linkage from there up there, and everything's probably frozen up and would have to be completely rebuilt. Another thing I noticed from the back, in order to get on the tractor with the bucket, they had to come in from the back. So they've put a plate here to step on. You step on the hitch, then the plate, then the axle, then up to the seat. And they've moved the wheel and fender out. It's almost fully to the extent on the wheel over here. If you look at how much of the axle's sticking out, very little. They moved this out on this side only. On the other side, they left it where it was at. So you've got close fit here. And of course, you can see here how much axle's sticking out on this one. You got a 6-inch difference in the offset of these wheels. I may try to move it back out. I don't know. I'll have to move the fender too, just like they did the other one. But until I've got a lift or something, because these tires are full. They're full of fluid, so there's no way I can do anything with anything until I can get something to sling that tire with. I haven't checked the alternator out yet. I'm getting ready to. He said he don't know for sure if it's charging, but I'll tell you what, it hadn't killed the batteries yet either. So the battery, I've got another battery to add to it. One problem I've got, troubleshooting problem I've got, and me, and I don't know if it's troubleshooting, because I think it works. Everything seems to be running fine. I don't have any white smoke. So if I've got a cylinder that's not firing, it's because it's not getting diesel from the pump, because I don't have any white smoke. But just to verify, I wanted to check temperatures on the exhaust manifold. Problem I've got, the exhaust manifold has only got 4 attach points. So I'm assuming you've got 3, 4 right here. This is probably like 1, 2, or 5, 6. And this one is the other 1, 2, or 5, 6. I can check, but I don't know how to differentiate if both cylinders are firing on the ends, because I don't have, at least the one in the center, I can kind of check each end of it. But on the sides, I don't know. I was going to check them with a temperature probe. I don't know that it's not running up on all cylinders. It acts like it's running on all cylinders, so I don't know that there is a problem. I just would like to be able to check it. Everything seems to be okay, except it's just been left alone for a long time. What they've done, somebody has welded an old car seat onto the existing hydraulic lift frame. There is a hydraulic seat adjustment for this one, and it is all the equipment is there. The little cylinder and everything's there. It runs on a low circuit. And that could probably be restored to the point that it works. However, somebody has welded this old car seat onto the bracket. And so I'm gonna have to cut that car seat off just to get into it to figure out where it's going and what will work and what won't work. So anyhow, that's one more step, is just to cut that seat off. One of the other things I need is a steering wheel. And I have been online looking and looking and looking, and I cannot find a steering wheel to fit it. Tony tried, and he said the steering wheel's loose, but he could not get the nut loose. I've got 3/4 inch and impact sockets to fit that nut on order. They'll be here Friday. And I can maybe get the steering wheel off. Once I get it off, I'm thinking maybe if I can get an aftermarket steering wheel for a different tractor, which is probably going to be splined. And this one is keyed. But as long as the splines are some that I can maybe bore them out to the same size of this shaft, because I don't know what size this shaft is, I'm hoping it's big. So if I can get a steering wheel with splines, bore out the splines to where it's the size of this shaft, and then take a keyway broach and take the steering wheel and broach in a keyway for it, I can replace it with an aftermarket that, because I found a couple of used ones on eBay. Other than that, and they were like $100 for them. I may just see if I can go with an aftermarket. But there it is. It's somewhat functional. I mean, it works and everything. Like I said, the park position doesn't exactly do what it's supposed to do. High and low range works. The high and low power works. And it's just going to be a great big toy. I don't know what to call it. I've got to give her a name. Going to be doing some painting. And we'll go from there. But it's nice talking to everybody, and everybody have a great day. I'll tell you what, it's beautiful today. This is January the 7th, and it's like 65 degrees out here. This is crazy. But everybody have a good time, and we'll follow up with more videos as I get things done.